Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our English Learning Podcast. Today, we are going to talk about one of the most common questions that English learners ask. How long does it take to learn English? This is a question that almost every learner wants answered. Before starting their journey, many people wonder whether they can learn English in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, or even a few weeks. The truth is that there is no single answer that applies to everyone. The amount of time it takes to learn English depends on many different factors. Your current level, your study habits, the amount of time you practice each day, your learning methods, and your goals all play an important role. For example, if your goal is simply to understand basic conversations and communicate in everyday situations, you may achieve that much faster than someone who wants to speak English like a native speaker or work professionally in an English-speaking environment. Let's begin by understanding an important fact. Learning English is not an event. It is a process. Many learners imagine that one day they will suddenly become fluent. In reality, fluency develops gradually. You improve step by step, conversation by conversation, and day by day. Think about learning English like climbing a mountain. You do not reach the top in a single jump. You move upward one step at a time. Every new word you learn, every podcast you listen to, and every conversation you have moves you a little higher. One of the biggest mistakes learners make is looking for shortcuts. The internet is full of promises such as learn English in 30 days, become fluent in 2 months, master English in 90 days. While these advertisements may sound exciting, they often create unrealistic expectations. Can you improve significantly in a few months? Absolutely. Can you become comfortable with basic conversations? Yes. Can you master the entire language in a few weeks? Probably not. Language learning requires time, repetition, and practice. Now, let's look at different learning situations. Imagine a learner who studies English for only 15 minutes once or twice a week. Progress will likely be slow. Now, imagine another learner who listens to English every day, reads regularly, practices speaking, and studies consistently. The second learner may achieve more progress in 6 months than the first learner achieves in several years. This shows that the quality and consistency of your practice are often more important than the total number of months or years. Another important factor is immersion. People who surround themselves with English tend to learn faster. They listen to English podcasts. They watch English videos. They read English articles. They think in English. They use English whenever possible. Because they interact with the language daily, their brains adapt more quickly. This does not mean you must move to an English-speaking country. Today, thanks to the internet, you can create an English environment almost anywhere in the world. You can listen to English while exercising. You can watch English content during your free time. You can change your phone settings to English. You can follow English-speaking creators online. Small actions like these increase your exposure to the language. Let's talk about realistic expectations. If you are a complete beginner and study consistently every day, you may notice significant improvement within a few months. You may understand basic conversations. You may introduce yourself confidently. You may discuss simple topics. After 6 months to 1 year of regular practice, many learners can communicate comfortably in everyday situations. After several years of consistent exposure and practice, learners often reach advanced levels where they can discuss complex topics, understand movies easily, and communicate fluently in professional environments. Of course, every learner's journey is different. Some people learn faster. Some need more time. Neither approach is wrong. Comparing yourself to others can be discouraging. Instead, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Focus on your own progress. One reason many people believe they are not improving is because progress can be difficult to notice day by day. Imagine a tree growing. You do not see major changes overnight, but after several months, the difference becomes obvious. Language learning works the same way. The improvements are often small at first. Then, one day, you realize you understand a podcast that used to seem impossible. You hold a conversation without translating every sentence. You watch a video and understand most of what is being said. These moments are signs that your efforts are working. Another common question is, how many hours should I study each day? The answer depends on your schedule and goals. However, consistency is more important than intensity. Studying 30 minutes every day is usually better than studying 5 hours once a week. Daily exposure keeps English active in your mind. Even small amounts of practice can produce excellent results when repeated consistently. Let's also talk about motivation. Many learners start with excitement. They study intensely for a few weeks, then they lose motivation and stop. Months later, they start again. This cycle can slow progress significantly. Successful learners understand that motivation comes and goes. That is why they build habits. Habits continue even when motivation disappears. The learners who make the most progress are often not the most talented. They are the most consistent. They continue learning when it feels easy. They continue learning when it feels difficult. They simply keep going. The most important thing to remember is that learning English is not a race. There is no deadline. There is no perfect timeline. Your journey is unique. Some days will be exciting. Some days will feel challenging. But every step forward matters. If you continue listening, reading, speaking, and learning every day, you will improve. Perhaps not as quickly as you want, but certainly faster than you think. So, how long does it take to learn English? The honest answer is that it depends on you. It depends on your goals. It depends on your effort. It depends on your consistency. But if you practice regularly and stay committed, you can make remarkable progress within months and continue improving for years. Remember, fluency is not achieved through magic. It is achieved through daily practice. Every word you learn, every sentence you speak, every article you read, every podcast you listen to, all of these small actions bring you closer to your goal. Thank you for listening to today's podcast. We hope this episode has given you a realistic understanding of how long it takes to learn English and what you can do to speed up your progress. Keep practicing, stay patient, trust the process, and most importantly, enjoy the journey. See you in the next episode, and have a wonderful day.